So the Center for Engaged Learning's signature program are multi-institutional, international, and multidisciplinary research seminars. And they live in the space in engaged learning research that kind of fills a gap between national and international surveys that give us a broad base picture of engaged learning topics and more detailed institutional studies that might be case studies of one specific university or college. And one of the things that we really appreciate and value about the research that happens in the multi-institutional research seminars is they allow us to do a deeper dive than a survey might, but across institutions. So we actually can see whether something works at multiple institution types or if it's really specific to one institution type. And if it is, then we can start playing with what is it about that institution and the fit with that institution that makes that engaged learning pedagogy or that active learning activity work, and how might we adapt it for other institution types. So it's really letting us learn more about a topic in ways that ideally and hopefully, and I think in practice, then scale up to more students at more colleges so that we can ensure that more students have the positive impacts of these engaged learning pedagogies.
I think there are so many benefits to bringing people together, not only multidisciplinary, but also internationally, coming from different viewpoints, from their worldview, as well as from their discipline view, but all having a common thread that brings you together around the table. It's not something that you can do sitting at your own university usually, or you'll have a large proportion of the university staff that you're speaking to being of a certain, local dominant culture. But here it's very kind of equally distributed, where you see different minds and different points of view coming to the table. And I think people say, with COVID and going online, we could pivot all of this to online. And I don't doubt that. I think that can happen, and you can create communities of practice in online environments. But the beauty of a seminar like this, and I might borrow words from an Indigenous elder that worked with me on my PhD, was that, there's nothing like sitting in front of someone and being able to feel their breath and being able to look them in the eyes and being directly in front of someone and having that connection. And while online technology can afford us some of that, it's never the same as building a community and being in front of people like that. So it's one of those unique experiences that I believe needs to be continued so that we can continue to build these communities and relationships with others in fields of interest that are the same as our own.
I came to Elon and the Writing Beyond the University seminar as a junior faculty member, so pre-tenure. And my research experience prior to that was with my dissertation. As many of us know, that when you write a dissertation, you are often a researcher of one. And really a novice, in my case at least, a novice to a lot of research methods. And so working with a team of diversely experienced researchers and having a team leader who is really a leader in our field really helped me learn different and more kind of deliberate ways of coding, how to collaboratively code qualitative data. I've been audience to a lot of brilliance in terms of quantitative data, but it's still not my area. But really being in a group and understanding how to collaboratively collect and collaboratively code data has been a game changer for me in my research.
There are going to be different people who have different viewpoints, perspectives, nomenclature around the kinds of things that they do. So even from just an Australian or an Australasian perspective, the term will is used, but the definition of what will is can differ from institution to institution. And at our institution, we've tried to build a definition that brings into consideration some of the other ones and what best works for our environment. The benefit of that is coming up with a statement on work integrated learning from CEL that can be seen and used by many around the globe as a common statement that we all can use, which I think on a global perspective that we don't have that yet. So this workshop brings that opportunity forward for us as participants, and challenges us to think about how we can make that happen. So, we're hearing a lot about service learning and experiential and inclusive learning and authentic learning, and and we do co-ops and we do placements and we do practicums. So being able to discuss those things together as a group of people from across the world and from across different disciplines will be really beneficial to the WIL community.